Mo three times right here. This is day. What day is it? What day is it? Is today day 10? Am I on day 10 of 30? Let's see. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Yes, I am on day 10 of 30 straight days of live streaming. I popped up on this one, so if you hit your alerts, you want to see it. If not, next time, hit your alerts and your notifications. I am straight live from the mobile. Sometimes you got to do that, especially in times like this. It's crazy. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But especially in times like these, there are things that must go down. Don't retouch me. Please don't retouch me. Center me up. Oh, look. Okay, maybe not now. All right. Anyway, I'm going to be real quick. Today is December 27th, 2025, second day of Kwanzaa. And that matters not only culturally, but politically. Across the country, communities are gathering to celebrate Kujichagulia, Kujichagulia, which means self-determination. And that means defining and naming ourselves. In cities from Birmingham to Brooklyn, people are talking about how self determination shapes their identities and futures, especially in Black communities, asserting their agency beyond imposed narratives. The principle encourages individuals and communities to define who they are on their own terms rather than under pressure from outsiders or dominant culture. Now, at the same time, in our broader political landscape, self determination and narrative control are central tensions in Washington and throughout civic life. A new Gallup and economic YouGov polling snapshot shows deep satisfaction with President Donald Trump's leadership as 2025 draws to a close. Now, with approval ratings stuck in the 30s and disapproval significantly higher, this underscores a broader narrative struggle. And that is who gets to tell the story of where America is headed. Oh, I got some people in here. Throw me a like, why not? Why don't you? Throw me a like, why don't you? All right. Hey Rachel, Logan, George, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna be quick right now. All right. So basically, this underscores a broader narrative struggle of who gets to tell the story of where America is headed. Also, in national politics, former President Trump is urging Senate Republicans to eliminate the legislative filibuster rule, arguing it's blocking the GOP's agenda and needs to go to get things done before the 2026 midterms. This debate about parliamentary procedure is at its core about majority control versus minority rights, I would say. Hmm. That's another kind of self definition for who wields power in Congress anyway. Anyway, within the Republican Party itself, the debate over values is playing out publicly. We see this. It's a political rift, and it's emerging between the former President Trump and Congressman Thomas Massey over the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Massey, who's a Republican, co-authored bipartisan legislation. I believe he did that with Ro Khanna from California to release federal documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, only to be called a lowlife by Trump on social media. Massey pushed back, framing his actions as fulfilling campaign promises and defending victims, turning personal attacks into campaign momentum. This is some what they call intra-party conflicts, right? And it highlights how competing visions of accountability and authenticity are shaping political identity on the right. Now, beyond Capitol Hill, there's a lot of federal institutions themselves are being reshaped. If you guys are listening out there, you would know that FBI Director Kash Patel announced a permanent closure of the J. Edgar Hoover Building in Washington, D.C., and that decision was framed as cost efficient and modernizing. The Bureau's headquarters will relocate to the Ronald Reagan Building as part of broader restructuring. The shift isn't just physical. I think it reflects debates over where and how our national security agencies project authority and transparency to the public. Um, yeah, it's a lot. These political stories mirror cultural conversation of Kujichagulia. Try to say that ish easily. Kuji, Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia. That means self determination. That is the second principle of Kwanzaa. My stream got interrupted. Sorry, guys. All right. So yesterday I came in here and it was explaining the principles of Kwanzaa and how it was created and came into to existence in the late '60s after the Watts Rebellion. We talked about how these rebellions start and how each and every time there is like a major upheaval or rebellion or protest or riots in America, that they always send in like people to figure out, hey, what happened in this city? Like, why are they burning this down and why are they doing that? And each and every time these type of incidents takes place, whether it is Black Lives Matter rallies, whether it is a No Kings protest, whether it's the Watts Rebellion, whether it's the LA riots in the '90s. These commissions come back and they say that, hey, stuff like this wouldn't happen if there was good education, if there was healthcare services in place, if there was good food in place, if there were jobs and a social, ladder to wealth and security in America, and also if the police would keep their boots out of people's asses, that would stop a lot of the riots in in America. All right. So that's when we're talking about the self-determination of Kwanzaa. That is not just for African Americans, even though it was created by an African American man for African Americans. These principles go throughout humanity. All right. Yeah. So that's what we'll stop with that one. All right. So politically, voters and movements are wrestling with similar questions, like who's going to define your national priorities, whose voices shape policy, and how do communities assert control over their destiny in a polarized landscape? Because listen, if you're between you and me, for the last 50 some odd years, people have been fighting this fight called reverse racism, and they've been saying affirmative action is crazy, and it's just black people getting picked to work these jobs simply because of their skin color. And now we see that this administration has got this Trump administration has gotten rid of all of this DEI and all of these affirmative action type deals, and they have gone back to basically the old boy system in America, a little bit of nepotism there. All right. Okay. And we're seeing how, hey, there's my buddy works here. Let me get a job here. And putting people that we like in high places is not working out well for our government. All right. So we're coming to find out that, hey, DEI was never the issue in America. And as a black man, I'm going to tell you what the issue in America is, right? Number one issue in America is racism. It always has. It probably damn near always will be. Hopefully, it won't always will be. But that's our problem here. There's a lot of racist people. There's a lot of haters hating with the hate out there. All right. So we got stuff like cultural institutions becoming political battlegrounds now. We got the Kennedy Center being renamed for Donald Trump, which is crazy. That has sparked a lot of backlash from our artists, including jazz musician Chuck Red, who canceled his annual show in protest. This center is now suing Red for $1 million, a case that juxtaposes artistic freedom against political decision making, raising questions about cultural autonomy. And we'll see civic culture itself under strain. In Michigan, there's media literacy and civic education are reportedly suffering as the state ranks lowest in freedom of information laws. Critics argue that limiting access to civic knowledge undermines citizens' ability to participate meaningfully in currencies of self determination in a democracy. That's right. When you don't have a little civics with you, yeah, when you don't have any, go birds. Definitely. Go birds. We got Buffalo. God bless everybody. All right. Um, yeah, man. Civic culture under a strain in Michigan. Media literacy. Media literacy. Like what are the logical fallacies, dead straw man arguments, red herrings. Anyway, across the country, there's resistance movements are asserting their own self definitions as well. In Washington D.C., a grassroots group called Free D.C. has risen as visible force resisting federal intervention. They mobilize residents around local autonomy, defending neighborhood governance against federal overreach, and pushing for DC statehood, a form of community self rule and political agencies. DC residents pay a shitload of taxes. They're on a higher end of the spectrum when it comes to paying taxes in the United States of America. And it's crazy because they are not represented well in Congress or the Senate. They actually have the no taxation without representation motto on some of their earlier license plates. You can see them in the city. All right. So all of this reflects a broad theme at the close of 2025. Americans are deeply divided, not only by policy, but by competing visions of identity, power, and voice. Pollster Frank Luntz notes that Americans are hopelessly divided by political affiliation, with disputes over direction and values intensifying as we head into 2026. And that's when I look at this camera and I ask all of you guys out there, this is how you wish you should be. Um, just register as an independent. That's what I did. That's what I did. Register as an independent and don't get personal. Politics is a personal decision, but you can't take politics personal. It's about the business. Mama said, no matter how you make a sandwich, no matter how you flip a sandwich, life is like that sandwich. The bread comes first. Get the business over first. Get to the bread first, and then you can worry about I don't know, your religious beliefs or your cultural beliefs in there. The money comes first, because honestly, with money you can buy your own cultural, and you can buy a space to voice your cultural concerns and practice your culture if you want, and you get a little bit of freedom there. Listen, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with capitalism. I don't make the rules, but damn, I was born into this game, and I realized out of all of my stubbornness that I got to play the game to kind of get somewhere. If not, I will be hungry, I will be homeless, and I will not be happy at all. And yeah, that's less freedom, more time, less money. There's got to be some type of balance. I'm still trying to figure it out. If I'm rambling, you're like, oh, he's rambling. Then you try to make sense of this. Let me know in the chat, okay? All right. So, what does Kujichagulia mean? It means self determination. And in context, it's not just a cultural principle, it's a lens through which to understand national debates over who gets to shape public life. For some, self determination means a certain personal freedom and minimal institutional constraint. For others, it means empowering communities historically marginalized in political narratives. For movements like Free DC, it's about rejecting imposed governance and defining civic destiny locally. At its core, Kujichagulia challenges us all to think about who gets to name themselves, who gets to voice their values, and how those definitions translate into power and into public life. So, as we observed and as we're closing out day 2 of Kwanzaa, the message of self determination isn't just a ceremonial ideal, it's a mirror to what's unfolding in American politics, whether it's battle over Senate rules, whether it's disputes within political parties, whether it's cultural institutions, independence, or grassroots of efforts for local government empowerment. The struggle over narrative and agency is central. And just as individuals lighting candles for Kwanzaa reflect on their own paths and communities, our national discourse is being shaped by questions of agency, identity, and who gets to define the American future. Today's political culture map shows that self determination remains contested not only in community celebrations, but in every corner of public life. As this political year closes and as we prepare for the next, these conversations about who defines whom will only deepen. And I hope we can have more of these conversations together forever, whenever, however. Anyway, this is Mo Three Times, off the phone piece. Day 10 of 30. Still doing it. I'm signing off. Thanks, you guys, for coming out. Like, share, subscribe, hit the alerts because I've been popping on whenever I effing feel like it on these 30 days. And I'm going to have something different for you each and every day. Tomorrow is the third day of Kwanzaa. I'm going to get after that dog early and we'll talk about it. And I'll see you throughout the day. Thank you. See you guys later. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Peace. Talking shit, getting clicks. Mo Three Times. How do I turn this thing off? End.